In this video, we are going to learn how to create tasks in Asana for each Google Forms submission. So let's suppose I am running a business and I have created Google Forms for each of the tasks, which means whenever there is a task submission, automatically a task is created in my Asana account. Now doing this manually will consume a lot of my time, so I've completely automated this process. And to do this automation, I'm going to use Pabbly Connect. So Pabbly Connect is an amazing automation and integration software which requires no coding or programming skills. Here I just need to build connection between Google Forms and Asana. With the help of Pabbly Connect, I am going to build this connection in such a way that whenever there will be new form submission, automatically this task will be created in my Asana account. Now if you want to learn the step-by-step process, then let me take you all to my screen. So here in this video, we are going to create an automation workflow with the help of Pabbly Connect, where we are going to build connection between Google Forms and Asana, and as soon as there will be Google Forms submission, the task submission, this task will be automatically created in my Asana account. So this is the landing page of Pabbly, and you can visit this simply by typing pabbly.com in your browser. Now after browsing the website, we need to sign into our Pabbly account. But before we sign in, let me quickly take you towards Pabbly community. So you can join the Pabbly community to connect with business owners, experts and the support team. You can share tips, ask questions and get quick solutions to your automation challenges. You can stay updated on new features and collaborate with thousands of users who help and support each other every day. Now, if you want to learn how you can join this community, then please check out the link given in the description. Let's move back towards Pabbly. After browsing this website, we need to sign in to our Pabbly account. On the top right corner, you can see two options, sign in and sign up for free. If you are an existing user, click on the sign in, and if you are a new user, click on the sign up for free, and this will give you 100 tasks free on monthly basis. As I'm an existing user, I'll go with the sign in. And here all Pabbly apps page has appeared, which is showing me all the Pabbly applications. I'm going to click on this Pabbly Connect Access Now. And it has taken me towards this dashboard where I will be able to find all my workflows over here and all the folders which I've created over here. Now if you want to create a new folder, simply click on this plus icon and from here you can create a new folder. For now I want to create a new workflow, for which I need to click on this create workflow, and here I need to select my workflow builder. We have this new beta which is modern, classic and more flexible one, and then we have this classic which is a stable and a familiar approach. I'm going to select this classic and now I'm going to name this workflow. So here I have entered the name of this workflow as create tasks in Asana for each Google Forms submission, and now I need to select my folder. These are the folders which have been created, and I'm going to select it as Forms Automation and then simply click on Create. Now here workflow created successfully. As soon as I click on Create, two boxes have appeared in front of me. One is trigger, other is action. So trigger says when this happens, and action says do this. Trigger is basically an event which starts the automation of a workflow. There can be only one trigger step in a workflow, but as many as action steps as you want. Here in this workflow, I want to create tasks in Asana for each Google Forms submission, which means whenever there will be Google Forms submission from the form which I have created, the task form which I have created, whenever there will be the form submission for this particular form, automatically the task should be created in my Asana account, which means whenever there will be form submission, this complete workflow here will get triggered, because trigger says when this happens. So when I'm going to receive a new form submission and then action says do this, then create the task in Asana. Here in my trigger application, I will be taking Google Forms, and then in my action application, I will be taking Asana, because from this form submission, I want to create the task in my Asana account. Here in my trigger application, let me quickly take Google Forms. And in my trigger event, I'm going to take this new response received. Now I need to make connection between Pabbly Connect and Google Forms, for which a webhook URL is provided to me. And this webhook URL is going to act as a bridge to connect my Google Forms with Pabbly Connect. So reading this help desk given below, I'm going to build this connection, and to make this connection, let me open my Google Forms. So over here I have created this form by the name Task Submission Form for Asana. I have all these fields: task title, task description, assigned to, due date, priority, project name. And now we are going to build this connection. So firstly, we have to go towards this responses, and then we have to click on this. I'm going to remove the responses from here, and then from over here I'm going to click on this view in sheets. Now this sheet has appeared in front of me. So now I'm going to do this form submission, and we are going to check whether there is a connection between this Google Forms and the Google Sheets or not. And after that, if we receive the response in this Google Sheet, we are going to send the data from this Google Sheet to Pabbly Connect workflow. So over here, I'm going to go towards this task submission form, and I'm going to click on this copy respondent link. I'm going to copy the link to this form, and I'm going to open it in a new tab. So now here I have opened this form, and now I'm quickly going to do this form submission. So first I'm going to enter the task title as short creation. I'm going to enter the task description as 5 shorts per week, and then I'm going to enter the assigned to as latest user, and then I'm going to enter the due date as 20th August 2025. The priority is high, project name is digital marketing. Now here, as soon as I do this form submission, all the details should be captured in my Google Sheets spreadsheet. I'm going to submit this form, and here I'm going to open my spreadsheet and check whether all these details are added there or not, and here it is. We have received the response with a timestamp, the date and the timing of when this form submission was done, the title, task, the description, assigned to, due date, priority, and the project name. And you can see all the details are same, which we have just filled in our form. Now here I'm going to send this data to my Pabbly Connect workflow. We have established the connection between Google Forms and Google Sheets, and now we are going to create the connection between this particular spreadsheet with this Pabbly Connect workflow. So to do that, I'm going to go towards my spreadsheet. I'm going to click on this extensions, go to add-ons, and then click on this get add-ons. You will see Google Workspace Marketplace will appear in front of me, where I need to search for Pabbly Connect webhooks, and it is showing installed because we have already installed this. But if you are doing this for the first time, make sure that you follow the same process and install this. Now after that you install this, it will start appearing over here, and from here you have to go towards this initial setup. Now this box has appeared in front of me, where I need to enter the webhook URL and the trigger column. I'll go back to my workflow, and this is the same webhook URL which I'm provided. So I'm going to copy and paste that webhook URL over here, and then I'm going to enter the trigger column. So here it says the trigger column will be a final data entry column, on which if the data is added, the whole of that raw data will be sent to the webhook URL. So here my final data entry column is column G, which means whenever I'm going to receive a new data in this column, whenever I'm going to add a new data in this particular column, the complete raw data will be sent to my Pabbly Connect workflow. So column G becomes my trigger column. Trigger column simply means the last column on which we are going to add the data or receive the data. So here I'm going to enter G, and then I'm simply going to click on the send test, and you will see this data will be sent to my workflow, and here it is. We have sent this data successfully, and now to make this setup, we have to make sure that we click on the submit, and you will see setup configured successfully. After doing this, we have to follow a very important step. We have to go towards this extensions, go to Pabbly Connect webhooks, and then click on the send on event. So this step will make sure whatever data we receive in future, it is sent to Pabbly Connect. If we do not click on the send on event, whatever form submission we receive in future, the data will not be recorded or sent to my Pabbly Connect workflow. So this step is very important. I'm quickly going to open my workflow and check whether I have received all these details there or not. And here it is. We have received the response. Short creation was the task title. Description was 5 shorts per week. We have received the spreadsheet name. The project name is digital marketing, priority is high, due date, and the assigned to is latest user. Here, as soon as I have done this form submission, I have captured that detail in the spreadsheet, and from the spreadsheet, I have sent the data to my workflow. And this shows the connection setup which we have created between these applications is working perfectly fine. And now whenever there will be new form submission, I will start capturing that response here in this workflow. Now moving on towards the next step, whenever there is a new Google form submission, I want to create task in Asana. So then in my action application, I'm going to take Asana. And in my action event, I'm going to select a task, create a task, and then click on connect. If you have an existing connection, go with save. If you don't have one, click on this add new connection, then click on this connect with Asana. Here I've already logged in my Asana account, and that's why this was an easy authorization. It is always advisable to keep your applications logged in for the easy authorization, and I need to select my workspace first. So here I just have one workspace which is already selected, and then I'm going to enter the task name. So I'm going to enter these details, but I'm not going to enter these details manually. Instead, I'm going to use a method called mapping, which means I'm going to enter the data from the previous response. I have received the response from Google Forms, and when I click on this field, I can see this Google Forms. When I click on this, I can see all the response which I have received from there. I am going to enter the task name as short creation, and in the notes, I am going to add the description of this task. In the due at, I have not received this. I am going to enter the due on. It is written that I have to enter the due on date in this format, but if I open my Google Forms response, I can see that I have received the date format in DDMMYY. It is asking me to enter YYYYMMDD. So I need to format this date, and to do that, I'm going to click on this add action step button, and in my action application, I'm going to search for date time formatter. In the action event, I'm going to select task format, date only, and then click on connect. And then I'm going to map the date which I want to format, which is this one. From format is DDMMYY, and the to format is YYYMMDD. After entering all these details, I'm simply going to click on the save and send test request, and here we have received the response. I'm going to map this date over here in the due on. So now we have mapped the date in the particular format which it was asking for, and in the assignee I'm going to select it as admin Pabbly, and I'm going to skip this field. If you want to enter, you can enter following the help desk given below. Now over here, if you want to enter the current date, what you can do, you can use the date time formatter action step, and then in the event you can select a task current date format. You can get the response of the current date on which the task is created. Like if I'm receiving the response from Google Forms and I have received the response suppose on 5th of August, the current date will be given as 5th of August, and then you can map that date. But if you want to keep this blank, you can do that. I'm going to keep this blank. Now over here, mapping is important so that every time you receive a new response, it is taken into consideration in this field. Manually entering the data will make this field static, and the information will not change even if you have received the new details. Over here, if I manually enter any detail, this field will become static, and every time I receive a new response, the result will not change. So as to keep this field dynamic, we use this process mapping instead of manually entering the details. Now after entering all these details, I'm quickly going to enter this project ID. If you want to map the project ID, you can simply toggle on this mapping button, remove this ID and enter the project ID from your Asana account. Here I have opened the project by the name cross-functional project plan which I have created, and I want to create the task in this particular project. I'm going to toggle off the mapping button, and then I'm going to select the project ID as this cross-functional project plan. You can create the projects and then you can simply select the project ID from this drop down, or if you want to manually enter the project ID, you can simply toggle on this button and enter the project ID. You will find that ID on the top in this URL. I have entered all the required details. Now I'm simply going to click on save and send test request, and let's wait for the response. So here it is, we have received the response. I'm quickly going to open my Asana account and check whether this task has been created there or not. So here it is, this is the project which I have created, and under this project I want to create the task. I'm going to refresh this page once. So after entering all the required details, I'm simply going to click on the save and send test request, and let's wait for the response. Here I have received the response. This response is a positive one. We have created the task in my Asana account under the same project ID. I'm quickly going to open my Asana account, and on the left hand side where I can see all these options, I'm going to click on this projects, and I have created this project by the name cross-functional project, and we have created this task by the name short creation. Assignee is admin Pabbly, and then the project, and then the due date, and then the project, and then the description 5 shorts per week. So here, as soon as I have done the form submission, I have created a task in my Asana account, And now to summarize, we took Google Forms as a trigger application where we made connection with Pabbly Connect. We took datetime formatter so that we can format the date in the format in which we want to add that to my Asana action step. So with the help of this, we formatted the date, we entered or mapped all the required details, selected the project ID, executed this workflow and created a task automatically in my Asana account. Now here we have successfully created automation between Google Forms and Asana with the help of Pabbly Connect. I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching.
Not only these applications, but you can integrate many more applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. Now if you have any doubt, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any query, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issue, you can visit the website given over here. Also, if you find our videos helpful, do share it with your friends and like and subscribe to our channel.